Welcome, everyone. This is Divine Dialogues, Intuitives Unveiled. I am Tracey Bango from Angels on the Prairie.
And I'm Rhonda Sean with Divine Guidance with Rhonda. And we're members of the Angel Empowerment Wellness Center. In our podcast, we're going to be delving into topics such as intuition, angelic connections, and the spiritual realm.
We're also going to talk about our own personal experiences to help you understand your own intuitive abilities. Thanks for joining us.
And let's begin.
Hello, everybody. Today, we are going to do kind of a special podcast. We're going to be talking about one of the tools that both Tracey and I have used or do use, but she and her husband is the one that created the divine rods.
So the angel divining rods, fully the angel divining.
Yep.
So just so he and I'll tell you how it came about. So I have a cousin that's she's a teacher. Well, she was a vice principal, and she decided she was taking a class somewhere, and she wanted to talk about negative and positive energy. And so she was talking about it at our house. She was here, and she was telling my husband about it, and she was going to use a clothes hanger. And Albert says, well, I can make you something, like, quick and easy. And he made her, and then everybody that was in the class, he made these divining rods for. And she was teaching about how your energy can affect the rods. So how they work is, I'm going to show, as a podcast, can't show you. But actually, if we're going to post it in YouTube so that you can watch how I use them, so that'll help you. But anyway, so I literally just let them clear. So what they're doing right now is they're just spinning. And if you can see, I'm not moving at all. It's just the energy in the air, and they're clearing my office. And I talk to them, so you'll know that I'm not talking to Rhonda, I'm talking to the rods. And the more I talk and bring Rhonda in, the faster they spin. So Rhonda's energy is entering my office, but I'm going to say, okay, team, all right, are you guys ready? So what they're doing is slowing down and get ready. And for ready position, which means my elbows are tucked in and they're pointing straight out. So they're ready. So, we're going to play a game, Rhonda.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Rhonda. So I'm going to ask the rods without saying anything. If people are watching, they can see her face. So, rods, what is Rhonda's energy at this moment in time? So they open, that's positive energy. So some of you maybe see, sometimes they stick right at the top, and I'll give them a little jerk because they're sticking, or I'll adjust my wrist because they have to be at a 90-degree angle to turn properly. So just so you know, we'll do, Rhonda's still in her same energy. It's pointing at Rhonda, and her energy has opened. So that means Rhonda's positive. She's happy. But we're going to see if Rhonda can be not happy, be miserable. So we're going to see if she can be angry. Let's see if she can change her energy. And we're going to see what the rods do. And if you're on YouTube, you can see that how her expressions are, like, you can feel the energy. She's fighting because you see the rods. Oh, there we go. You'll see the rods closed. Okay, so that's your negative. And I say thank you. Thank you, team. And they're opening. So, just so you know, in the grand scheme of things, positive, okay, team positive, thank you. And negative team, thank you. So open is positive, negative is closed. Oh, they're just going with me. Isn't that lovely? But my team that I talk to has attitude. They're a little bit like me. So I ask every time what is yes and no because they change. It's not always like, for instance, I'll ask them, what is yes today? And they're going to open and I'll say, thank you. And they go back to ready. And I'll say, what is no today? And they'll close. So that's thank you. But let's say, okay, team, what is yes going to be tomorrow? Oh, they're thinking, team, they're going opposite. Thank you. Okay, thank you, team. Oh, they're telling me to move I wasn't to move because when it went in, if anybody was watching, my hand went with it. So, and what is no? Oh, you're going open. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, team. Okay. So lots of attitudes. Okay. So, and it is very important to stay at that 90-degree for them to run properly. So if they're not moving, adjust your wrist. Okay. So you can use them for like yes and no, like a pendulum. Ask a question. And I always say, like, when you're asking a question, to please be specific. And I tell everyone the same thing. If you're going to ask if it rains, well, it's going to rain somewhere in the world. So if you want to know if it's going to rain on your farm, say, okay, is it going to rain here where I am today, where I'm standing? If it's going to rain at my home, like be specific because it can be generalized and then it's not going to give you the right answer. But also know that you as a person can affect them and so can the people that you're pointing the rods to. So it's very important to shield yourself. And if you have somebody else that's with you, that's maybe asking the questions, to shield both of you from the rods. And you're going to ask, well, how do I do that? Well, I'm going to give you a very simple tool. I'm not going to get into anything major, but I'm just going to say you can just ask Archangel Michael to please put a shield between me and the rods now. And please put a shield between me and my client, my friend now. And always in gratitude. And it will only last, I'm being told, 1 hour. Okay? So just so you know, 1 hour. So this is one of the few times that usually when we put up a full shield, it's a lot longer. But they're telling you, just so you know, it's only for an hour. Okay? And it's an important thing to do so that you don't affect or your friend or doesn't affect the rods. So, Rhonda, I have other things.
I was just gonna ask. So you were talking about that being as like your energy and kind of asking questions, but I know because I use them myself, but you often talk about at shows about losing things. So how can they help about losing or finding things that are lost?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's another specifics. So it's like, and yes, if I'm going to pick on my husband, like he loses keys, he loses glasses, he loses wallets. So I'm just going to say, or Yes. So I'm going to you just ask, okay, team, make sure you always clear your rods. Okay. I always put it out because they're longer, right? So I have to always clear them so the energy is good. And then you ask them, are you ready? And you tuck your elbows in, make sure you're straight at a 90. And then you say, okay, team, show me where is Albert's keys. Now, some people have more than one key, right? So where's Albert's? If it's the GMC keys, if it's the tractor keys, if it's the skidoo keys, you have to be specific, okay? Because there's probably more than one set of keys in the house. And you know what? They will show you. So I'm going to ask, okay, so I'm going to say, so where are Albert's keys for the old white shelf?
Time out for a sec. Can you raise your arms a little bit because it's getting cut off?
Okay, sorry. All right, so I'm going to ask, where is Albert's keys for his white shelf? So it's pointing, we have a shop, and that's where those keys are. So I always, thank you, always acknowledge, and they'll go back to ready. But sometimes it's not that easy. They'll point you in a direction and you'll walk into a wall. So just remember, go on the other side of the wall. Or maybe it's outside. So go outside to the area that you stopped and continue on. And then you also ask, so what are you going to do when I am near or have found, like very near or on the object that I'm missing? So you just ask them what they're going to do. And these ones cross. And they might thank you. And they might be different from everyone. So make sure you ask, what are you going to do when I'm close? Okay. So yeah, it definitely helps you find what's lost. For sure.
I know for myself, I use them when I do mediumship readings. And it helps to find, because it picks up on the energy like you talked about. So very often, especially if I'm in person doing a reading with people, I'll often use mine divine rods to show where that person is located to them. It's like, oh, they're on your right side, right behind them, or they're in the living room.
Yeah, like they're very good about that. Like, and as Ron and I both know, like spirit, if you call in spirit, they're right there. So they're, like Rhonda says, they're right beside you or right in front of you, but it's usually on one of the sides. So it's usually the way it is. So, and most people maybe they don't know that, but just so you know, but there could be other spirit with them. So it'll show like if there's other spirit in the room, and it just helps people with a visual to say, oh, look, your loved one is standing right beside you behind. Do you feel that? You feel that energy, and you can ask, like, what do you feel? Like it's a good visual to help people that are getting a reading. For sure.
So you were kind of mentioned that you and your husband are the ones that make it. So how do people get a hold of you if they want to buy?
Well, I have them if I'm at any show. I always have my rods at shows. But also I have them on my website. Which is okay. You're going to have to pause it here because I'm not sure what I'm going to say. Hi, where you can get them from me is you can either order, if I'm not at a show, at the Angel Empower Wellness Center/Tracey Banga, or my website at tracybanga.ca.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I was just gonna say we'll put the links in the description, so if you guys are interested in purchasing. Now, is there anything else that you want to share about the rods, or?
yeah, I do I find what's lost. I can also find my husband, my dog, because I'm out in the country. So I always ask, where's my husband? Where's my dog Loki? To find, and it'll point where they are for sure. But one other thing I do, which I find is people really like for visual, is house clearings. So to clear energy, and having the rods as a visual, like people can literally see that the room is done. Like I automatically ask Michael to come and help clear the room, but then I also ask the rods to do the clearing of the room, and I'm gonna say, okay, guys, Michael, as a visual. So can you show me when the room is clear? And they're just spinning, and they're slowing down, and they're slowing down. And you know what? They're going center. So that means the room is clear. So that's how what I do with the rods, because it's very nice to have the visual to show that the energy is gone.
Yeah.
I'm always in gratitude, so I'm always thank you for that.
Cool.
So is there other things I do with the rods? I think I use them like a pendulum. Find what's lost, house clearings, show me where spirit is. And they're just fun to play with. They're really fun to play with.
And I can attest to that because I use mine all the time. But what's even fun is when we go to shows, how much attraction it brings in to our booth. Like, not only do we clear the booth, but people are like, they have fun playing with them. They have fun using them.
And they're surprised how accurate they are.
Yeah. Now, sometimes what happens at our show, just to kind of explain why this might happen, is sometimes you don't get an accurate reading. So what's going on when that happens?
Well, so many people have handled them. There's so much energy in the area. So then what I ask people is give them to me, or if it's with Rhonda's there, like we clear them.
And how do we clear them? Just, because they're not, if they buy them, they're not at the shows or whatever, like at home. So how would they clear them for themselves?
If you buy from me, the ones that you buy, they're cleared and they're infused with Archangel Michael, so they're good to go. But the one at the show is I automatically bring in Archangel Michael, and I grab selenite, which is what I'm wearing, selenite, and I cleared with the selenite and Michael.
Okay. So would you recommend that they do that as well at home, or do you clear your rods regularly?
Well, to tell you, to be fair, so when I do this, they're clearing.
Okay.
So they're clearing.
So not only you're clearing the room, it's clearing the rods.
The rods, period. Yep. So, okay, rods, you ready? So let's just ask. Okay, rods, we're asking the rods, the divine rod specific, using positive is yes and negative as no. So in other words, yes is yes for the rod. So open is yes, negative is closed. So do we need to do any other action if once we have these rods at home to clear them other than what I've shown here in this video? And they're going, no, they've closed. So thank you. And you see, when I say thank you, they open. I think I need to do a little work on my one rod. See, these rods are old, people. So I have to do a little clearing, and I'll tell you, when you have rods, and I have stainless and copper plated rod, like this, the tubing is stainless steel and the rod is copper plated. I have to sometimes take this stainless steel tubing, and I just take it and grind it at the top just to clean, because sometimes it's metal. It gets garbage buildup from the rods, and it's good to go.
Is there a reason why you chose copper?
Copper is a very great connection to the divine. So the divine is, I call it, like, everybody has different belief systems, but I say it's your connection to the universe. Okay? So whether it's an archangel, whether it's God or Jesus, whether it's a fairy, whether it's a dragon, whether it's whatever your belief system is. That's why I say they work with your team to help you. It's your people, your team, your universe that you're talking to.
Great. Well, that was interesting. Is there anything else you'd like to share about the rods, or?
No, I think they're just fun. Like,
Yeah.
they're like a pendulum, but just way more. And don't be scared to try to play with them and ask them. Maybe you will figure out something more you'd like to do and share it, because it's awesome. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are. And even for those that are interested in it, it is another thing to add to your toolbox or toolkit, just with like cards and pendulums. It's just another great tool. I personally love them as a mediumship tool for myself, because a lot of people, they believe in mediumship, but when you can kind of direct them to say, oh, this is where they are. And again, it goes back to that visual.
Yeah, for sure. And it is. It's about a visual. A lot of people like visuals.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will definitely put the description if you are interested in purchasing the rods. And if you're looking for the demonstration of them to actually see how they work, if you're listening on any of the podcast platforms, you can go to our YouTube channel at Divine Dialogues Intuitives Unveiled. Plus, we'll also put a link of the YouTube video in our description as well. Well, thank you for that demonstration, Tracey.
You're welcome, and thanks for listening and watching.
Yes. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Divine Dialogues, Intuitives Unveiled. If you would like to work with Tracey and Rhonda, our information is posted in the show notes.
Now, our new episodes are going to fall on Tuesdays. So if you're interested in receiving a free meditation on connecting to your guardian angels, click that link below to subscribe to the Angel Empowerment Wellness Center newsletter. Thanks for joining us.
Take care, everybody.